I think there's a point where you get tired of talking about everything over and over again, but in the context that you're asking the question, there isn't, because it's like it's the platform that gave me my start. Well, it gave me the credibility, I should say, because I've always done music, you know, but it's gave me the credibility to become an artist. So I don't get sick of it. I'm proud of it. It'll always be something that's always in my proud case. I don't know, but I mean, it's one of those things that I'll never be like, oh, I want to get rid of that. I do want to define myself as an artist apart from it, but I always will be thankful for. I'm not, because I've been performing almost every night while American Idol's been on, so it's hard to, but I wish I could. Here's when it gets kind of boring. It's when people, I think, well, I should say when there's like very much common knowledge of a question out there, but maybe someone doesn't do the research. When they're ready to interview me, they just start asking all the questions like, wait, and they'll ask me like, well, they'll ask me like, well, someone will ask how my wife's doing. I'm like, and I gotta go over and kind of explain the whole situation, and then they feel bad, and it's one of those awkward moments. But when you're with someone who knows how to, an interviewer makes it the best. You know, it always depends on how interactive they are and what kind of things they pull out of you. I think I was most excited to meet Vince Gill, because I listened to him growing up. He was a young lad. So whatever the ding 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 ding. That was weird. iPhone ringtone, the standard, I think it is. I don't know what the standard ringtone is, but never did vocal lessons growing up. I did, you know, on American Idol, did one session after the show was over, and that was it. Yeah, I've never really, I need to sit down and talk with somebody that does that. Um, you know, I think when Randy Travis talked to me about it, I think I was like, wait a minute, you know, what's he saying? Because first off, you know, with the amount of soul that I have in my voice, I couldn't believe that he did say that. You know, I will say that. But it was an easy fit. For me, it was a very easy fit. I think when you come, here's the thing, when you come and you do gospel your whole life, and then you finally decide to change up and I'm going to do something else, and you only get like a 3-month window to figure that out, that's a very difficult process. You know, a lot of people want you to know who you are, and it's just like, you know, I'm sorry, I haven't had enough experience with it yet. You know, I've been experiencing, you know, lots of music, you know, lots of gospel, but going out, it's like, I think, you know, that was a nerve-wracking part. Which way do I fit? You know, and especially in a small time frame. But now looking back, I'm like, wow, this was so easy. It was such an easy fit. It was such a right fit. Well, I had a lot of input on picking the songs. I think in the beginning, though, when we went to lay them out, I didn't really know everything was a learning process. You kind of just get put on you, and you kind of watch. Now going and doing the second album, since I understand the process now, I know where I can interject and where I can be more creative. I think My Best Days and When I Say Goodbye. I'd have to say pick those two. Yeah, I have. Not with anyone important, but just me, me and a few friends. Well, you know, country radio is a little different than, you know, pop radio. Um, Now, I didn't know anything about pop radio or country radio or any radio in period. You know, no matter what genre it was. Coming off the show and not recording an album, I get it now. You know, like the difference between, I would say, pop radio or adult contemporary and you know, country radio is that in country radio there's more relationships formed than it is. And when you go on a pop radio, I mean on a country radio tour, they don't have to play your songs, and I think it's a very neat concept. You know, in the beginning it's kind of scary because they don't have to do anything. They first have to believe you, and then they first have to play on the radio. You know, so it's kind of, you know, my songs just didn't get added to all the stations like may have done with other artists. My songs isn't a gradual build, but I like it because, you know, there was a connectivity that has been, there's like a grassroots kind of movement that's growing between me and the listener. that because there's relationships being formed, every time I get on the radio in a different city, they all get to hear a different story. They get to hear a different side of it that they didn't see. And I appreciate that. I actually now love the radio tour. I'm in a different city almost. There's basically like this. There's 133 major markets. I think right about now, I would say we're up to about 90 stations around. So I think we're in the top, I think my song is at 29 right now. So being, having another like 40 stations more that I need to get on, I think is doing very well.